I'll get you. Call meeting to order.
Okay, let's pray. Heavenly Father, as we gather today as a community, we thank you for the opportunity to come together to share our voices and to work towards a common good. Guide our discussions with wisdom and understanding, allowing each person to be heard with respect and openness. May our decisions reflect your love and passion, and may we leave this meeting united in purpose, strengthened by our shared commitment to building a better future for our community. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda, we have the adoption of the minutes. We have some, Larry, you want to add an agenda item?
Yes, I'd like to add a quick item to get an approval for a new member for the safety committee.
Okay. I'd like to add a agenda item to add a new member. And also a agenda item for the sale of property, the vacant lot. And could ask to pull some items. Debbie Lutz has asked to be pulled. I would like to pull the property committee issue. And Mike Foster would like to pull the hiring of a stormwater management service. So any other items? Okay. So it's new AP member. All right. I motion that we accept the agenda. So moved. All in favor? Move on. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the call meeting on June 27th. Has everybody got a copy of those? Is there any changes or objections? If not, I move that we accept those minutes as is. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Next, I'd like to accept the minutes of the work session on July 11th. Everybody got copies of those? Anybody has any objections to those or additions? Therefore, move that we accept those minutes. All in favor? I have a second. Mike?
I understand I wasn't part of it.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on. Amanda, here you go. 9:30, okay. At this point, we'll take questions from the audience. There'll be two questions to the board. You'll have 2 minutes per question. Please direct to the whole board. If we do not know the answer, we'll get back to you on that. Bob, could you take the microphone?
In doing so, would you make sure that they get their question asked, and if they have to repeat it, they'll repeat it?
Okay. Any questions from the room?
Is this about bringing up issues that are
Hold on,
already? Is this about, when you say questions, is this about bringing up issues that are concerned to us?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, please state your name and the street you live on.
okay, certainly. I don't know if this is on. All right, my name is Carol Spears. I live on Castleberry Lane. And my main question is, when is the board going to address settling the matter, settling the lawsuit? So that we can, you know, those of us who are concerned about the issues of the lawsuit don't have to spend as much more money as we're going to have to as it is. So we ask that you put this on an agenda item absolutely as soon as possible and consider all the issues that we have. I also have another question. I want to know if this is, did I misunderstand when somebody told me that Pope Carmichael is representing the insurance company for this community? For the clubhouse? Is Pope Carmichael now representing the insurance company for the clubhouse? Those are my two issues.
The insured, Pope Carmichael is POA's attorney, so she represents everything in the POA.
And that would be part of my third question, is when is that going to be addressed as a substantial issue for the community, for representation of us?
Okay, we can get back to you on that.
Bob, you grab one of these if you don't have one. You grab one of these little mics if you don't have one. No, the little ones. It doesn't pick up.
This is for the live feed. Put them both together.
That one, you get my questions.
No, I got them. I want to make sure we get them.
Kathy Barros, I live on 56 in Harbour Coast. I actually had 2 quick issues. One was the second, the woman just said I was going to ask the same question she already did. It's about secondly, I know Jennifer already got these. With the dog park, there's been some issues, and so we submitted some suggested rules, and I'm just asking that, if possible, those can be looked at so that we can all be on the same page maybe a policy, I know that's not a priority, but just something in the future. And if we can get it.
It's not plugged in.
This is on.
Yeah.
I said, that I'm requesting the dog park people submit some suggested rules for the dog park. There have been some problems. And I am just asking that those be looked at, that maybe a policy be put together and rules and submitted. It's not a priority, but it is a good idea. And also that cameras be placed at the dog park so that, anything that occurs is on cameras. That would be fantastic. That's all I have to say.
Larry, do you know anything about cameras in the park?
Well, yeah, we don't have electricity there.
Okay.
For the problem with the camera thing.
Okay. People will get messages.
Hey, Downloader 5604 Gondolier. I've got a big voice, so you can probably hear me. I have two issues. One is really short. One's probably going to run over 2 minutes. The first one, which is very important to me, is open space. There are at least 3 pieces of property that were taken out of open space in August of 23 by Phil Hewitt. On October of 23, that was August of 23. In October of 23, it was voted on by the POA. Prior to that, we went to market on our house in October of 22. And on November 17th of that same year, we had our home inspection, and pink ribbons were all around the property next to us. That had been common space forever, since 1972. I have all the documentation. If anyone on the board wants to sit down with me on this. I've already brought it to Gail Albertini when she was the president. I brought it to Les when he was the president. Nothing got done. This property should be put right back into common space without the plot designations that Phil Hewitt put on. We are now paying taxes on something that was common space. Per North Carolina law, unless it's in your bylaws and your DORs, you need to have, and this is a pre-99 community, you need to have 100% participation of your community to remove anything from common space. One person did it, and did it before even the POA voted on it. This needs to be reversed yesterday. This is 2 years in, we've been paying taxes on it, and it sets a precedent to rip apart the 385s. I have all the documentation here. I am happy to sit down with the entire board and go through this. It needs to be done. We also got a lawyer involved, actually 2 of them. One of them sent a message to Pope Carmichael, and immediately after that, they were on the property trying to turn it into a boat ramp. Camel laughed at them. This is something that should never happen in a community. This is our property. It is not the property of one person. This is the kind of thing that's been happening for a long time here. One person, 2 people are making a decision about all of our properties. I'm fed up with it. And I will say that the last thing that this community needs is another damn lawsuit. Okay? By the way, along those
Before you
lines,
move on,
yes,
what is that NCGS code you're referencing for the 100% approval?
I can get it. I'm happy to. Okay? Along those lines, you guys are all fiduciaries for this community. When you're a fiduciary, you're not only in charge of people's money, but you're in charge of their property for their benefit. That's the definition of a fiduciary. And I recommend highly that people start looking at what's going on around here with selling things and purchasing things, because we're going to be out of money real quick. Our dues are going to skyrocket because of this building. Okay? On another note, the second thing I'd like to go over is the name of the building. It's being called a Harbour Club. Okay? I'm into clubs. I'm a member of 5 clubs. This one in particular. It took me 7 years to get into this club. I needed a primary, needed about 24 people to support me to get in. When I got in, and I went through the entire application,
Jake, we have to.
I'm almost done. I had to pay an initiation, and I pay dues every year. This is not a club. It should be renamed either the Fairfield Harbor Community Center or the Shoreline Community Center, because it's ours. We are already members of that community center. That's it, the whole point piece. And for the board, I'd love to sit down with you all about this problem.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Jack Harris. I live on Albatross Drive. I mean, most of you know who I am. I want to clarify something on the lawsuit. Hope Carmichael is not our attorney representing us. We're represented by travelers insurance agencies, lawyers that they have hired out of Raleigh. All Hope is doing is providing backup material because she's been a lawyer here for so many years. And I'm really pretty certain about that, because I was named as a defendant on the lawsuit, and I wasn't on the board when any of this happened, so I sure know who's defending me. Thank you.
My name is Rebecca, and I live on Belvedere. I just want to second Carol's two issues that she had. I agree with her bringing those up. I also second him on the name of the, I would like to say, community center, not club. What is the law for private clubs in North Carolina? To qualify as a private club, a facility shall meet the following requirements concerning membership.
Slow down.
Okay. To qualify, okay, so this is North Carolina law as far as if you want to call that a club, which I totally disagree with, because that gives a few people the right to make a decision who can become a member. I don't think we want that, but what is the law for private clubs in North Carolina? To qualify as a private club, a facility shall meet the following requirements concerning membership. Collect an annual membership fee separate from any admission or cover charge. No dues from which shall be more than 30 days past due. So if we call this a club, we're gonna have another payment, because they will call it a club because a few members are gonna make decisions on what happens in the club, who can be a member, who can't, who qualifies. We've gotta call it something else, because we are living in Harbour. I don't want that called a club, and I don't want to give a handful of people. It should be a vote for everyone. What happens with this building? Thank you.
Rich Edwards, Castleton Court. I think with this kind of agenda, if we could possibly, even if it's like a one-page thing, where we could possibly submit these things in advance to be on the agenda, you know.
You want questions submitted in advance for the agenda?
Well, so we could put something on the agenda, in other words, so it's just not a walk in and thing. This way it gives, I think, you people, a little bit of time to look at it and possibly be able to respond in a little bit better time.
Good.
My name is Deborah Makuta. I live on Santa Lucia Road. We have a newly built home, July of 2024. We had wooded lots on either side of us. We were in our home approximately 5 weeks last year when Debbie hit, and we had 22 inches of standing water in our yard for weeks due to the swale behind us backing up into our yard. We have two huge concerns. Last meeting, it was said that swale work was being done on Santa Lucia. There are now 4 new houses being built on Petite Terre, that will empty into that swale. So far, we have seen no swale work being done. And the lot next to us has now been cleared, and they have built it up higher than ours. We are worried that their drainage will affect our yard. Our lot is graded at a slope from the front to the rear to go into the swale. They have built a mound that drains to the side. So that's our concern, is someone pay attention to, it's like you're the king of the hill. Each new home gets built higher than the one next to it. So.
Anybody else?
Any other questions? Okay. So, for this open forum, we're going to have follow the Robert's Rules of Order as much as we can, and if we have any talking in the gallery out here, we'll ask you to leave. We need quiet. We're just going to conduct a regular board meeting. If anybody needs to speak up, please raise your hand, and we'll, since we're taking minutes, we'll go one at a time, no speaking over each other. Okay, to move on from there. Just let everybody know that the board is seeking a new secretary. If you're interested in contributing to our community, please get in touch with the POA office or reach out to me directly. We'd like to have somebody take that position as soon as possible. You can get an application in the POA office. Also, I'd like to let you know about the election results from the last election. The election results were Lee Fossett had 765 votes. Wayne Anderson had 761 votes. Neil Watts had 575 votes. Debbie Harris had 515 votes. And Robert Martin had 132 votes. The two vacant seats were filled by Lee Fossett and Wayne Anderson. Okay. Right now, there is ongoing effort on Cara and down around Petite Terre to help improve the drainage there. There's a project going on where they're going down Cara and around and out. So, and I'm not sure the stormwater is looking at other areas that need to be done. Multiple, yes. We're aware of lots of things in the neighborhood as far as stormwater goes that need addressing. The community's been here for over 45 years, and basically no real project has been taken on to redo this stormwater here. So we're taking a serious look at that and trying to get that done. Also, we have problems with the roads here. Right now, we have a sinkhole at San Juan and Trade Winds, and this is from an old culvert that runs underneath the street there. There's a big hole in the street. We're looking at with the contractor, find the best way to repair that, and we're trying to get it done as soon as possible. A lot of the other sinkholes in the area, potholes, we're looking at having them filled in and repaired as soon as we can. We have a contractor that we've selected to do that. Also, we're looking at diverting the rainwater that sits out here in front of the Broad Creek entrance as you come through during rainstorms. That thing just puddles up and becomes a major pond. So we're looking at how we can divert that stormwater away too. Lastly, we're looking at the formation of several new committees. If you're interested, pick up an application at the POA office. The formation is for the current Harbor Club. The Harbor Club committee that is there in place now, once the build is done, is going away, and we're going to have a new committee that will be for the utilization of the club there. So if you're interested in something like that, please pick up the application and help with community efforts. Okay. And remember, this community all works on volunteers. So we need support. So if you can support us, please join a committee or come help us. Okay. At this point, I think we'll move on. Yeah. I'd like to welcome Amanda.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Amanda. I am the new club manager for the Harbour Club and the Pointe restaurant.
Hang on, Amanda. Can you use one of the lavalier mics as well, please? We're streaming live so they can hear it as well.
Oh, yes.
No, both.
Hold on just one second. Let me give you all these so I can hold stuff.
Thank you.
One of each. Everybody. Okay. This one. Great.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, this one, that one.
Okay.
This one.
All right. And then one of them's mine. Oh, okay. I've got one for me to go over. And hopefully these are close enough. Anyway, so I'm the new manager for the Harbour Club and the Pointe restaurant. We have been making a lot of changes over the past couple of months. I have been here literally 8 weeks. This is the beginning of my 9th week. So there's some information that I'm passing out to the board and everything, and I'm actually going to read it off to y'all to tell you where we are, where we've come from in just the past 2 months. Please understand that whenever I fully know that all of the things that the concerns, the worries, the things like that, or seeing things that were going on at the restaurant, in the past 2 months, again, we've made great strides. We are not perfect. There's always going to be things that can be better and things of that nature, but I am extremely proud of where we are right now. Thank you so much. Hold on. I'm going to be dropping everything. Okay. So one of the first things that I'll go over before we hit to numbers, our new dinner menu rolled out last week. The whole point with the Pointe restaurant, as far as what we were doing, is accepting it for what it is. So many times people have come in and they're wanting to do a Michelin 5-star dining or things of that. We're not that. We're not that. We need to accept what we are and do it really, really well. And that's the best thing. So I'm sure you saw the things that rolled out in the beginning, which are our lunch sandwiches. We've got tuna tostadas. We've got tacos. All of those things are for lunch. Last week, the dinner menu rolled out. An example, we have pineapple jalapeno salmon. We have a 12-ounce choice ribeye. We have a pork chop, fettuccine Alfredo that we sold out of 2 nights in a row, and a bruschetta chicken. So all of those items are going to stay seasonal. They'll be there for about 3 months. In the fall and winter, we'll switch over to a different dinner menu, so you're not having the same things all the time. And then weekly, we'll eventually, once the kitchen is able to master this, then they'll be able to roll out on a weekly special, something that's going to be different every week. So you do have one thing. We will not be doing it nightly. that was part of the problem, is that you cannot have a special every single night. If you don't sell out of that, guess what? You have waste. When you have waste, what is that? That's a loss of money. We don't want to do that. We want to have what we have, do it really well, and sell out of it. So that's what's going on with the Pointe. On top of that, last week on Sunday, we started rolling out with our new trivia. It was very small to start off with. It is, again, on Sundays for right now. We might move the date. We're playing around to find out what days are going to be the best, because obviously we have music on Thursdays. Fridays is our Fish Fry Fridays. Starting in August, once or twice a month, we're going to be having prime rib night on Saturday nights. So those will be alternate of the weeks that we're doing trivia. That's just a really, really cram-packed week of everything if we try to do that every single week. On trivia, it is $20 to come in. $4 of that goes into your pot. That's your winnings. The other $16 is for a buffet. Again, the point behind that is if you choose not to have the buffet, you still have to, order off the menu. If we were to shut down and just do trivia, then again, we lose money. We have no income as far as coming in. So we have to be able to do something. So we want to be able to provide you dinner while you're able to play trivia as well. So that's the thought behind that. Moving forward, and I'll look at, tell you a little bit about the restaurant and about I'm going to do the year over year. That's going to be your second page in the back. So year over year from 2024, week over week. I just started in the beginning of May. So the week over the week up until about 5 weeks ago, I'm sure you can't see this, but they'll have it. Up until about 5 weeks ago when we fully switched over, 2024 beat us. Well, 5 weeks ago, guess what? That changed. And now the Pointe is actually turning to where we are making more money than we were in 2024, and to a larger amount. In a couple of weeks, 2025, we will be ahead of what we did all year over year for 2024. So it's just taken us a little bit of time to get there in order to start turning those different things around. As far as our pro shop, I printed out my tournament list, but not quite sure where it went. As far as the pro shop, and this is going to be this one, your front one. It's going to have your F&B, and it also will have your pro shop that's on there. I'm just going to give you simple numbers. So from 2024 to 2025, our total numbers, and again, this is just from reports that we were able to pull from our POS system in order to see what's going on. This is not budget. This is not money that's coming out of. This is just what we've made and what we're doing. The total year to date, as of yesterday when I ran these reports for 2024, were $426,389.58. Now that is restaurant and pro shop put together. 2025, $452,500.85. We're up $26,111.27, but at Harbour Pointe. Now, there were a couple of months that were down in May and June, which were actually the only 2 months that were down, minus, of course, we're not quite there for July. But May and June, we were down. We had more tournaments last year in June. We had 5 major tournaments that we did. And it's not to our fault. We did do the Journey of Hope this year, but there were 4 other ones. They weren't really, really big, except for the Purple Heart. Purple Heart is not currently going on, and that is not to our fault. They chose that they didn't want to do it anymore. So once we're moving forward with these tournaments and I get a little bit more of a handle on things, our intentions are to go to the people who did Purple Heart and suggest that they just let us put it on and us continue on with the tradition of doing Purple Heart. So that way we're able to continue to do that tournament. Another great thing that we are super excited, and Walt started this for us. We are going to be the first club in this entire area to put on a Tunnels to Towers tournament. That tournament is going to, I don't know if you know what Tunnels to Towers is. It's extremely important around here. The November the 1st is the date. We sent off for our contract yesterday because we had to give them a certain amount that would go towards them versus what we plan on doing with that, the rest of the money within our community. And so we sent that off yesterday, and we'll hopefully have the contract back. I'll have it today or tomorrow, and we will get all of their marketing material and go from there. We have already started planning this tournament. We already have the meal planned out for this tournament. We have everything. If this goes according to the way that I really, really believe that it's going to, it will be the largest thing that this community has ever seen. We have bands coming in. Our goal is 144 players, which is the max that you can put on the course. But on top of that, we're not just doing a tournament. We're having live music outside. We're going to have cornhole. We're going to have things to where all of Camp Lejeune and Cherry Point and all of those places, we want them to come here. We want them to see what's going on inside Fairfield Harbor, and especially with all of our veterans, all of our first responders, things like that. And getting them to come here, that does wonders for our community. That is in November. September, October, and November, we are stacked with tournaments, with events. I'm working with the events committee to put on the Music Under the Stars. We also have the kids POA, the swimming that we're going to bring the kids in, but we're also going to get them out there on the driving range. And Brian, our pro, is going to work with some of the kids that might not want to go swimming, but he's also going to get them out there and hopefully get them involved in wanting to play golf and give them that little bit of, hey, you know, a little bit of interest. If they have just a little bit of interest, then maybe they'll get into it and they'll start coming out and playing more. And we can start developing a lot of the things with the kids in the community. I don't like to know. Oh, yes. Again, very, very excited about this as well. We just went through a health inspection, and we got the best rating that this place has ever had. We went up to a 97.5. So, thank you. So, and the few things that we did get dinged on had absolutely nothing to do with food safety or anything like that. I need to caulk a sink. I need to get a plug for the trash can. All of those things that when she comes back on our quarterly, they will be fixed. And our goal is 99.5 to, I mean, I want 100, obviously, but you know, we got to be a little bit realistic. But yes, our health score was better than it has been, and if not ever, but a very, very long time. Am I forgetting anything? I had my list of stuff and I don't know. It went flying. No, I think it went flying. No, just the other ones. I think that was pretty much it. And I can step out of the way if y'all have any questions or anything like that.
What's the tunnel thing?
Tunnels to Towers. So Tunnels to Towers is, if you're familiar with, what's the other one? Wounded Warriors. So it's different from Wounded Warriors. Wounded Warriors, there is a lot of overhead. They have CEOs, they have all of that. Not a lot of the money goes towards Tunnels to Towers. Who's the guy who started it? Frank. Yes, I was looking at Walt. So Frank started it. His brother died in 9/11. All of the money, except for very, very little coming off the top, goes straight to them. Right now, their big project is they are building a homeless shelter in Charlotte, and that homeless shelter is for wounded veterans. It's for first responders. It's for people who, because it's not just veterans. I think sometimes people forget that we have police officers, we have firefighters, we have EMTs. They also are, you know, they're first responders, so they have to be involved with that as well. And so that goes towards all of those people. They have built homes. They have helped rebuild homes. They have paid off homes. They help in so many ways that other places just cannot. And they do so many, there's only so many of these tournaments that they do throughout the entire United States. I think it's 180 is what she said. 180. And for us to have gotten chosen to be able to do one here in New Bern, that's a lot. And once we do this every year, it'll be an event that, as long as we do well, that we'll continue to do it here at Fairfield Harbor. Yes, anybody else? Good?
Thank you, Amanda.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah.
I can make it the last time.
Sure.
Last minute, and we didn't have time. Is there any scheduled, or are you gonna let us know?
It's gonna go out this Friday. It's not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. We're trying to do it every other week. It was It didn't get to get out in enough time, but now that we have the flyers ready, we're trying to do it every other week and just look for it in the Fairfield Harbor. Also, if y'all come into the club, which I hope everybody does, there is a list there that's called, it's for sign up for an email blast. It's just for like right there, or if you know people that live in Fairfield Harbor. That's really what it's for, is for people that from the outside to come in and sign up so they know what's going on, to try to get them to come in and support us, you know, but that's there. But it is for now going to be every other Sunday. I was looking for you.
I know.
Okay, next, I'm gonna turn it over to Lee for the treasurer's report.
I'm already tired after listening to Amanda. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The trends look really good.
Thank you.
Keep it up. You and I talked about where the trends might take us yesterday. I'm excited about that. If you haven't talked to Walt about Tunnel to Towers, get at least arm's length from him, because he'll put the arm on you for a donation. Ask me how I know. He's already done it.
Before you get started any further,
Yes, sir.
can you guys hear him okay?
Everybody hear me okay?
But the lavalier mic, the little black one, is for the online people. You can put it, you can clip it on your shirt if you need to, sir.
Good. I'm easily distracted. All right. And for the back row, because I saw some kinds of looks from the back row, if you can't hear me, please, or this, and I'll either grab the mic or speak up. I've got two parts of what I'm going to present today. Kind of some catching up from the financing on the 385 or the amenities property. And the second part is sort of what I plan to do on a regular treasurer's report. The 385 property is actually old business, but it needs to be cleaned up. And here's the introduction and the steps we need to take going forward, in my opinion. I'll be presenting some motions as we go through this to clarify and square us away. My big objective when I came into office and took over as treasurer was to try to figure out for my own benefit where we are. I got to tell you candidly, I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. And we're doing the best we can right now. I'm going to go back to the 385, and I'm going to work from my notes so I don't forget anything. The mortgage with Truist was approved by motion in a meeting on June 28, 2024. I believe the payoff for the loan with Coastal for the 385 was a condition of that approval. Treasurer Miller discussed the Coastal loan, quoting the minutes now. The loan to Coastal Bank for $980K will be paid off early with no dues money being used.
Correction, sir.
Yes, sir?
It's 908K.
Whatever. Okay. 908K will be paid off early with no dues money being used. There's a $9K penalty for paying off the loan early, but the POA will still save $50K by paying it off early from eliminated interest expenses. That's from the minutes of that meeting. However, that's an announcement, not a motion to approve. The search of the minutes of this meeting, previous meetings, and subsequent meetings finds no actual motion or vote to make this payoff of the Coastal Bank. I'm going to present a motion to memorialize that decision in retrospect. I also ask that I have a statement from Coastal Bank showing zero balance, so it has been paid per the statement. I've asked you to go get us a copy of the letter of satisfaction from Coastal, and when I make my motion, I'll ask that those two be attached to the minutes of that meeting. Going forward, there was apparently some transfer of funds, moving things around to accomplish the goal of paying everything off with non-dues funds. Transfers and payments were communicated, the best I can tell, with Jennifer and Troon's accounting help from Treasurer Miller through our Appfolio account here, uploaded to Troon's master accounting program. Troon apparently posted the transactions between bank accounts, but apparently neglected to deduct properly from the balance of the booked reserve accounts. You got two kinds of accounts. You've got a bank account and a booked account. We put it in the bank, or took it from the bank, but we didn't deduct it from the booked reserve. Jennifer and I have reviewed this with our new Troon accountant. She agrees there's an apparent discrepancy and is investigating and will document the findings of her investigation. I've requested the year-end report from Troon to the FHPOA be revised and republished to the FHPOA. It was me reviewing the year-end that I saw this for the first time. I also requested revision and publication of all the month-end reports through June of 2025. This should clear that error from current and future reports. And then we should be able to tell where we are. May and June are currently in draft stage and will come out officially soon. I don't know how much that error is. I suspect it's somewhere between $393,000 and $908K.
I'm sorry, repeat those numbers again?
Somewhere between, it's in your notes, in the motion package. Somewhere between 393 and 908. Difference, yes.
It's fair to say one account, one fund was lower and one fund was higher, but there was no material difference in the amount of money.
Right.
One was higher, one was lower, no material difference.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a shortage against the bank statements. This is a shortage against what we are booking in reserves. It still needs to be cleaned up so we know how to plan. I say in my notes, and I'll ask that my notes be included with the minutes of the meeting, I have no reason to believe this represents any shortage of funds. Okay? So get that off the table right now. It's not missing money. It's we took it from here and we put it from. I need to know what that reserve balance is on the books so I can approve expenditures from reserves. That's what this is all about. Is that fair? Yeah, if there was a shortage of actual funds, the bank statements would fail to reconcile. And they didn't. So we got it in the wrong spot. We need to fix it. We're going to await the results of Troon's investigation and an audit so we really know where we're going forward. I am sure we cannot use any, quote, reserve balances on our current statements for planning until that investigation is complete. And I will be presenting a motion to request an audit of the Troon books for 2024 through May 31, 2025, to be sure we have found and corrected this and any other posting errors. So we know what we've got going forward. We should receive revised and audited year-end and a revised and audited Q1 2025. That'll give us a firm balance to work forward from. Since there's apparently some breakdown, Jennifer, I haven't discussed this with you. Hang on, buckle up. There's apparently some breakdown on both sides of this issue. I'm going to ask Troon to split the cost of the audit with the POA. I'll present a motion to that effect. Next item. Treasurer's year-end financial reports that are posted on the front steps right now reflect this problem. So I'm going to revise and present a revision when this posting error is fixed. In the interim, I'm going to recommend that the year-end statements that are currently posted on front steps be taken down and removed to minimize future confusion. They contain the discrepancy. Motions. I'll fix the typo if it was 908. First, I move that the board approve in retrospect the $908,000 payoff of the Coastal Bank loan. The coastal payoff must have been made entirely with non-dues funds to comply with the restrictions imposed on the purchase by the court. When the statement showing payoff and the letter of satisfaction are received, I further move that they be filed both with the minutes of this meeting today and as an amendment attachment to the minutes of the June 28 meeting. Could I have a second, please?
Discussion.
Go.
Says here, the loan payoff must have been made entirely by non-dues. We don't know if it was paid off by non-dues. We can presume, but we don't know for sure. Is that
That's
correct?
probably true.
When will we know that?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. I'm going to assume right now that the moving around that was done to pay it off accomplished that.
I will let you know, Chris, that Hope reviewed all of the bank accounts. They were all non-dues. She made sure that they were paid with non-dues accounts. I mean, she had Rich show her all of those balances, and then all of that went through her to pay off that loan.
Do we have a letter from her that says that? Then I'd like to put that with this, please.
I request we table this motion until we get that letter to verify that we're not presuming that the money is all non-dues. If your motion says must have been, it's presumptive, and we need to be factual.
Well,
Seeing no second to the motion.
There's no second to the motion?
Second.
No, he's trying to table a motion that was made in second. No second to his motion to table.
There's no second to the motion. I request this motion be entered into the record.
Already in the record.
I think these are independent of each other. Second, I move that the Board of Directors formally direct Troon Accounting to thoroughly investigate the apparent discrepancy in posting to reserve accounts, which was discussed between Troon and me on June 15. Further, the board will require correction and republication of the Troon report for year-end fiscal 2024 and all month-end reports which have been published for fiscal year 2025 and June of 2025 month-end reports. Could I have a second to that?
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion.
It was the second, I heard two voices, so I was making up. Okay.
Somebody else wants?
Discussion, Chris? So you have in here the publication of the Troon report for year-end fiscal year 2024. That's the annual published report that's on Front Steps now?
No. No.
This is something different.
This is the 20-page month-end package that I received from Troon.
Copy. Thank you.
Okay, so now do we have two motions open now?
Nope,
Which one?
nope.
We need to vote first. Right, we need to vote first. Please read the first motion.
Move the board approve in retrospect the 908K of the Coastal Bank loan.
Yes.
Loan payoff must have been made entirely with non-dues funds to comply with the restrictions as imposed on the purchase by the court.
Correct. Mike seconded that. So now we need a vote. We had a discussion. Vote.
I thought there was a motion to table.
There was, it didn't.
I apologize, I got confused. All right.
All in favor? Aye.
Opposed.
Okay, on to the second.
All right. Second motion is Board of Directors formally direct Troon Accounting to thoroughly investigate the apparent discrepancy and re-correct and republish the year-end financial 2024 to us. And all month-end reports have been published for fiscal 2025 to us. To clarify for Chris's benefit and any others, This is the 20-page Excel spreadsheet we get on a monthly basis. This is summarized by Kevin and separately posted on our website. And you've got a second to that.
Mike seconded that. All in favor? Ask for discussion.
Yes, clarity. It's summarized on front steps. So Troon delivers a 20-page document. Kevin summarizes it into the, I think it's 13 pages that is published on front steps.
Whatever's on front steps, yeah. Yeah,
This is the published document on front steps that was uploaded 3 different times, March 3rd, March 5th, and March 7th, correct?
I don't know. I don't know the
Is
history.
that correct, Jennifer?
I don't recall, but if you say so, I don't recall.
That document, as far as I know, was never approved by the board anyway.
That is true, sir.
It's done.
Where are we at with this?
The posted statements for year end on front steps. I don't see it anywhere.
I think it's verbal.
Yeah.
The fiscal year end, it was definitely.
Okay.
We got a motion, discussion, call for a vote. All in favor? All right.
I'll accept this.
Okay, go ahead.
Third item, I move the board formally request a full audit of all Troon accounting and its interactions with the local Appfolio software, just in case this problem occurred with an upload for the period beginning March 2024 and ending May 31, 2025. Cost of the audit should be split equally between Troon and the POA. The auditors should review all transactions, postings, transmissions, downloads, and all internal controls. Ask for second.
Second.
Wayne seconded.
Discussion. All in favor? All right.
All right, agreed.
Opposed?
Okay, back to what's on front steps right now. Y'all hear me back there? I move the FHPOA year-end financial statements currently posted on front steps be removed now to replace by an updated version when all auditing and revisions are complete. Ask for second.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? All right. Opposed? None.
Here comes the hard part, guys. I move the board of directors postpone all large, I'm going to define large as roughly exceeding $5,000, discretionary expenses, both from operating accounts and from, quote, reserves accounts, until this investigation is complete, not to exceed 60 days from today's date. Invoices for work already promptly. I'll ask for a second.
Second. Discussion. I have a question. Yeah. Please define discretionary.
What my question is, if it's budgeted and it's already been committed by a committee, is that considered discretionary?
If work hasn't started, I'd consider it discretionary.
For like regular operating expenses like security for $26,000 a month, that's.
Keep the lights on, mow the grass, do that. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to say grade the swales, but we're not ready to do that.
I have a real concern with some of that, because one of the problems that stormwater and I think roads and streets has been having the same issue is once we commit to construction and they plan it, if it's a smaller item, some of these are, can be under 5,000 for some swale work. We do a lot of small contract, which you know this all.
Yeah.
And those things need to continue, particularly your issue, because that swale needs to continue to go on. And I think Ray has it set up bits and pieces with our contractor that's doing the current work. If you would accept a friendly amendment exceptions for that project, I think that's satisfying.
I'm fine with that.
So that'd be a friendly amendment, Glo, accepting stormwater.
What about the ongoing Roads.
roads and streets.
The paving, ongoing paving that we're in the middle of.
If we've started it, we need to finish
Well,
it.
we haven't started,
We started three car paths. We cut.
but we have not started the hole on trade winds in San Juan has not been started.
The culvert work,
Culvert.
that's gonna be 100,000, so it's over 5.
No,
So
no,
that's really.
No,
no,
the
that's not gonna be that much.
sinkhole.
The sinkhole.
Single, yeah. If we redo the project according to the secondary plans that we received, not the initial plans, that properly fixes that issue by moving it off of somebody else's right of way and back onto our own right of way,
Right.
it's gonna cost, yeah, it's gonna cost money.
Yeah.
Which will be exceeding 5,000.
Could you put the mic back on the table? They have a tough time hearing you online.
I don't know.
We have support what you're trying to do here. And the other thing we have to keep in mind is, as committees, is this is 60 days you want to get this done in. That's not long. Yeah, if it pushes back a particular piece of work, we may increase some costs because we got a bid on it now, and that bid's only good for as long as, I don't know, 30 days, 60 days. 90
When I
days.
listened to what Roads and Streets had to say, I was under the impression that everything that they had in work was about to be paid. Now, if I missed that,
Okay.
let's sit down and talk about that.
The one item I'm concerned about is the San Juan issue.
Yeah.
Because that has just come up recently, and
Apparently, we need to go with it.
Yeah.
Let's take that as an exception.
okay, so there's those two.
Friendly.
That would be a friendly amendment.
Okay, any other discussion?
Just from my understanding, discretionary expenses, does that have anything to do with draws or payments to anything related to the Harbour Club?
Nothing at all. That's not discretionary. That's handled by an outside agreement.
All right, any other discussion? Vote,
All right,
all four?
Aye.
I agree.
No opposed? All right,
Item last on motions, I move the board authorize a separate quote cash audit unquote that's required by the bylaws when a change in treasurer occurs. That should be paid by the Fhpoa. That's a routine piece. I'm just adding it to what current piece of business.
Do we need to do a cash audit with a full audit?
Yep. At the same time, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
second.
discussion? All in favor?
All right.
We're gonna have to figure it out. Okay, I'm done with motions for right now.
Okay.
All right, part two.
Part two.
All right. This is a little bit of an overview. It is very much back of an envelope because of the problems we just discussed. Because the way I normally do a cash projection is I take cash balance and I subtract out what's posted to reserves. Well, if the second number you pick up, you can't trust. Thank you, Wally. I appreciate you nodding your head up and down. Makes me feel better already. This very, 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 very back of the envelope, I started with the bank balances and I worked backwards through some really rough cash projections. I'm not happy with the news I'm going to give you, but I think they're not entirely too pessimistic. If you take a look at this, just back up a little bit and take a look at this year versus last year. This fiscal year, we're going to pick up an additional $350,000 worth of loan service costs for what I'm going to call the Harbor Club. I'm sorry, it still is till we change that, okay? But our full mortgage payment kicks in the middle of the year, September. So it's about 59,000 and change times 6. We're going to pick that up. If you take a look at where we came out last year, you came out about even. You didn't raise the dues. Last year you came out about even. You didn't raise the dues. You got 360,000 extra expenses coming in. That's not a solution for overall happiness in your budget. But that's my 30,000 foot looking down view. We finished with almost no operating cash at year end. At one time, Kevin projected 0. I think he ended up with $33,000. Considering the size of our budget, that's pocket change. Are these projections accurate? No, I'm sorry, they're not. They're directional. What's that mean? It means we need to expect a problem. Can I tell you if it's a little bitty iceberg or a great big one under the water? I can't tell you yet, but it looks like we've got a little bit of a problem. What needs to be done to improve our status against these projections? Talked about postponing major discretionary expenditures. We need for Troon to clean up the posting issue and issue revised month-end reports. That's in the motions. We need to work to get financial reports to us much sooner. We've had a slowdown due to lack of staffing. We've got the staffing fixed. We need to be doing some catch-up. My opinion is we don't need to be working harder on month end. It means we need to work together through the month to make sure we arrive at month end needing no adjustments. That should be our goal. We need to collect every dime of dues money that's due to the association. There are actually 3 categories. There's current dues that are due, and Jennifer will report we're about 90% collected. That's really, really good. I'm really, really happy. I want that other 11%, all of it, in the bank. You get the math, right? Okay. There's also an allowance for doubtful accounts, which is on your balance sheet at $146,428. I define doubtful accounts as people we suspect probably aren't going to pay us. I also define doubtful accounts as potentially collectible money. Already talked with Matthew about that, and not so much with Jennifer, but I did chat with Matthew. We're going to be going after that. It's out there, it's owed. My philosophy is if it's owed, we ought to be working to collect it. Now there's also a bad debt write-off, which is $179,843. Bad debt write-off means we give up. Well, no, we don't. We got to go get that.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you have any historical comparisons? I know this is really needed.
I have no hysterical comparisons.
Historically, have we been similar to this or not similar to this? Is there something that's causing this, or these kind of unfair questions to ask here because
I don't know.
Usually the bad debt write-off, that's the determination or the definition by Ernie and company
I know.
after the 3 months.
Yeah.
But that's usually turned around after we 6-month mark and year mark when they do, reconcile.
Yep.
It won't be that big.
Yep. Jennifer's saying it won't be that big when we get done with it.
Yep.
Did I do that right?
Fine.
Yeah. But what's out there is I view as potentially collectible, and we need to be working to get part of it back. I will say in previous community I worked with, we had both of those bad debt accounts in one account. And over a period, it takes a while because sometimes people have to die literally for you to collect the money. Let's not schedule any deaths of neighbors that owe money right now, okay? But people literally have to die, or people have to give up on lot ownership and just say, I give up, I'm going to sell it, and we've got it liened and we collect them. Sometimes we have to foreclose. I don't like that any better than anybody else, but it's our money. it's owed to us. And that's a principle I operate on. By the way, at previous community, we reduced that by 30% over a period of 3 years, the total outstanding balance. And it takes people dying. I think a reasonable challenge would be to reduce current delinquencies to less than 0.5%. That's a little bit of a stretch, I think. We had 97% paid last year. And the way Jennifer reports collected percentages, that'll be 99.5% collected by year end. I'll say again, we were respectable last year. Sooner's better on collecting the difference because we need to spend some money. I'd like us to set a target, and it's just a target. I'm not making a motion, but I'd like us to set a target to collect 10% of our doubtful accounts by year end. That's $14,000 back. I'm sure there's low-hanging fruit there. I'd like to see us get good at this and reduce it by another 15% in the next year. And finally, after we've written off all the unpaid dues as bad debt, we need to mine those for additional collectible funds. This would be if 5% of that came back because people died, be 89.92 favorable, $17,000 next year. It can be done. It's a struggle, but it can be done. Challenge our golf and restaurant teams. And I talked with Amanda yesterday about this. Yep, she left. Good thing I talked with her. To provide at least a small operating profit by year end. I think she's going to show that easily. The challenge is going to be to show us a burn rate that allows us to project reasonably for the next year that operation, that whole operation, golf and food and beverage, requires no subsidy from the POA. And in terms of discussing numbers with her, that includes our lease payment for 45 golf carts. Have her pick that up. Let's show enough forward momentum that we can reasonably project covering that for next year. I'd like to go to budget with confidence we're going to do that. We owe 60 plus enumerated lots that can be sold. Maybe half of those should be sold. They're on the books, we're paying taxes on them, some a little, some a lot. We ought to turn them to cash.
Does that include the 37 lots that are down in the, that were going to be?
Yes. The difference between 60 plus and 30 that should be, yeah.
Because most of those were, well, a good portion of them were unbuildable.
I know.
Basically unbuildable.
Yeah, that's why I netted them out.
Okay.
Yep. The things we can possibly do with truest approval to survey off a few additional lots, declare them as lots and sell them. That would be open to a vote of the community.
What lots are you referencing?
Don't know yet.
You survey off a few lots, approving truest approval. Are you referencing the 385?
No. There are other, I'm told there are other spots that are within the community.
Why would we need truest approval?
Because we have a commitment to truest that we don't sell any community-owned assets without their approval.
So you want to dig into our access lots, our public lots, our green spaces to generate revenue?
I want to evaluate them, yes. Yes. I'm not advocating to do it. I'm saying we should study it.
Yeah.
Where did I leave off? But anything that touches community-owned needs truest approval. We have to do the numbers. If we don't do the numbers, we don't know if it's worthwhile even talking about. I'll be asking the board to charter and approve nominees for a finance committee. I see their role as helping us all discover our financial situation analyze the details, make reasonable projections and budgets for the future. I was asked the other day if this group should be part of approving payments. No, should not be part of approving payments. The people who service us should be paid promptly, and by the time it's time to approve a payment, that should already have been formally approved. I now have 6 nominees I'll be asking the board to approve. I have 1 or 2 financial skill sets I would still like to add to the group. I'm still calling for volunteers with past audit or financial accounting experience to join the group. We can fix this situation, working together, looking forward. Things have been done in the past we might not all agree with, but they are done. Let's figure out where we are, figure out how to move forward, figure out what direction is north. You sailors, you don't know where north is, where are you going? Yeah, thank you. Financial success. As I said, I usually do a cash forecast by starting with cash flow statement and subtracting out the book reserves. I can't do that. This is very, very, very crude. One step above the back of an envelope. This might be the back of a manila envelope, okay? I'm going to start with things that are in the statements that I got that I don't suspect to be a problem, and I'm going to move on to the back of my manila envelope. Here are your bank accounts. These are your reconciled balances at month end May 31. I'm not going to read every one of them off. I have highlighted one concern here. We have a total of $3,094,289, and of that $2,748,000 is on deposit with Wells Fargo. FDIC insurance covers $250,000 per depositor per deposit relationship. Our deposits with Wells Fargo then are insured up to a total of $250,000. If you're going to worry about it, you need to worry about Wells Fargo going belly up. I would caution you, it's not something for us to run around here with our hair on fire about, but it's something we should fix. There are vehicles to fix it. One of the things I want a finance committee to do is help me study the various vehicles. I know of at least one, and it's one we can implement. I'm not sure it's the best one for this community. But that's my concern with that. All right, also from your month-end statements, performance year-to-date. This shows member dues year-to-date actual through May collected 1,133, budget 963. I will tell you, your budgeted dues are spread out. When I budget for next year, I won't spread them that way. They're spread almost evenly month to month, and we need to budget for a big peak in the first quarter. Non-dues income is ahead of budget. Golf memberships and marina are behind substantially. Golf F&B is behind a little bit. Amanda already talked about and gave you the numbers. We got off to a slow start. Miscellaneous is a little ahead. Total revenues $1.5 million versus $1.4 million budgeted. So maybe we're $100,000 ahead. Expenses, labor, 290 versus 331.
Question.
Yes, sir.
What is miscellaneous income?
It's miscellaneous right now. I'm sorry. It's way too big as a separate item. It needs to be split out. But it's, Jennifer, can you help me what gets posted in there?
Yeah, so what happens is we do split it out and we have it all.
You might want to use the mic. Okay. This other one's here.
Okay. Hold on. You can you can read the different incomes, and then when we report it to the the accountant, it has to kind of be batched. It's all split out, but then it has to get batched back up.
Examples from non-dues income. Gate access fees, fiber optic, land development, traffic violations. It's that sort of stuff. If you want it split out more, I can do it, but not here.
No, I asked for miscellaneous, not non-dues.
Okay?
Just, is it golf paths, is it?
Mosquito control. It's traffic violations. Thank you.
Miscellaneous is non-dues.
Yeah, it goes in there. Yeah. Okay.
What did you say, sir?
Non-
Miscellaneous is
it-
non-dues?
That would all be non-dues.
So shouldn't it be one line item instead of two?
Chris, on our delineation here, our miscellaneous is only $394 year to date. What happens is everything is delineated. You have to look at me. You have to look at me. Yep, we send it up with all of the delineations. Our accountant has to then repackage it, so it's a bigger miscellaneous. There's not enough categories for her. They don't exist. I have all of the categories broken out, $394 miscellaneous. This is faxes, copies, hats that are bought in the office, bags that are bought in the office, very small, little tiny items.
Okay. Chris?
For now.
Moving on to expenses, total labor, under budget so far. Total payroll burden, also under budget so far. This is as of a draft through the end of May. Would I like to have a June report right now? You betcha, but we don't. And you read the rest of the itemization. Maintenance, 110,313 versus 158. That's a good one to the positive. Security is over budget. Insurance is over budget. Property and casualty.
Security had 2 payrolls in 1 month, and so we'll go down. We had over, that's why we're over.
Okay, yeah,
Timing.
yep. Okay. And total operating expense is 875, 674 versus 946. I'll have those on a monthly basis. And if you want to see other stuff, we can do it, but I'm going to follow advice from a lot of people and not put so much detail out there. Here's the back of the envelope. I calculated an operating cash burn rate. Your burn rate is what you're spending out the door through Q1. Average monthly is 306,065. That's on line 78. That, by the way, is up about 10% from last year and the previous year. I'm not doing much in the way of annual projections, but this one is up about 10%. Regardless of the fact that you're ahead of budget, you're up. So I'm going to estimate your total cash burn for fiscal 2025. Here comes the back of the envelope. Your average per month, line 84 was 306. Times 3 of those is 918. You with me so far? Nod your head if you haven't gone to sleep. Good. I'm going to layer in to the next 6 months your mortgage. Line 88, 59,720 is your mortgage obligation per month. That gives you an accelerated rate of 365,785. Months at accelerated rate with the mortgage service is 6. That's 2,194,000. Operating cash required is 3,112,000. This is a little bit pessimistic here in terms of the comparison, but if I took all the cash I've got on deposit today, it's 3,094,000. You're going to collect some more during the course of the year. If I was going to stand here and say we're fat, dumb, and happy, or at least dumb and happy, I'd say today we've got enough money on deposit to cover the end of the year. We have to rely on additional collections through the end of the year to get us in good shape. And we need to do the things I just talked about, and maybe some more. But because we have no opportunity within the dues structure to be talking about a supplemental assessment or a special assessment, that's just not an option. So we need to pull in the purse strings a little bit. We need to accelerate our income a little bit. I promise you by the next time I do this for a quarter end, we're going to have a lot better projections going out to year end, and maybe they won't be quite so bad news, but prepare for the need for some kind of a dues increase next year. We needed it this year. We didn't do it. Don, that's all I've got.
Okay. Quick question for Jennifer. What's the occupancy rate of our marinas?
Oh, I have that in my report.
Okay, all right. Then in that case, we'll move on to community manager's report.
Thanks, Joe. I needed those lights. Okay. Mike. Mike. Yes, Mike. Can everybody hear me?
Big voice.
Got it.
If
Okay.
you put that one on the table, the little one on the table, and then speak into the stick mic, it should work.
Okay. Got it. Okay. First thing that we do usually for my report is just update the board on this or at Harbour Pointe that they need to know with staff. So I'm not sure you guys know that Kathleen has obtained her notary public designation, so she can do notary services in the office. When Cindy left, she took with her her notary services. Also, Monique that we just hired is also a notary. She has to get her stamp, but we'll have 2 notaries in the office. So that's good. Monique is new, Monique Steinman. She started, I don't remember her start date, but this is her 4th week. And Matt Stutz, our account manager, is in his 3rd month. We are still utilizing Wednesdays to train. I know this is a hardship for a lot of people, but when the phone is ringing and people are coming in all the time and needing things right away, we don't have any solid blocks of time to train people and explain all of the different systems and platforms that we're using. I'm sure there's some of you guys know that. If you've seen the office with a line, with all 5 lines ringing, it's tough. So the Wednesdays have afforded us to be able to take the time to properly train people, catch up, file. We haven't been able to file. It's just a really good opportunity for us to take that breath and be able to do what we need to do to get the office in order. So Will Cottle, our maintenance, or he's our community superintendent. He's back from his time off. Kathleen is back from her time off. And then upcoming in next month, the Community Association Institute Annual Conference in Wilmington is August 21st and 22nd. And Kathleen and I will attend. There's a lot of great learnings that go on there, and we meet vendors that can help us to be able to properly get quotes and proposals so that we can get the best deal for the community. And we're going to move on to our dues collection from this fiscal year, which starts March 1st, 2025 to yesterday, the 22nd of July. We are 89% collected. I wanted to be able to have that number get to 90, but thank you, Lee, for doing that for me. I appreciate that.
No problem.
It's
Get me to 95 by year end.
well, $3,454,970.63. That is 3,454,970.63.
As of today.
As of yesterday. Non-dues, same time frame, March 1st through yesterday, is $178,745.40. That number does not include marinas. Some of you may or may not know that if you have a boat slip, you have to pay it at the pro shop. And the reason is because back 3 years ago, the marinas were managed by the golf shop. And we switched that. We switched that so that the golf revenue stream was just golf and restaurant, or golf and restaurant. The marinas are the marinas, and they now fall under the HOA. But our Appfolio system does not include the marinas. So all of those payments are made over at the golf shop. And I'll get to the marinas in just a second with what they've made so far. So that's great news, because we're ahead of budget and we're not even including the marina budget. Sometimes we talk about fines. I know that many residents have been upset about the amount of fines that go into our non-dues income. It's very low right now. We're probably going to get in trouble for not finding enough because we're so under budget. I think the fines have been, I think, hold on.
You'll never get in trouble for not finding it out.
Well, I will, because you'll say we haven't made the money we're supposed to make, and you're going to get mad at me later. $5,395 in fines year to date. I think we're supposed to be at 10.
What was that number?
$5,395.
Have we received anything from Host America yet?
We have received our first check of Hosted America income last month. Was $1,540. Those checks will only be getting bigger as there's more people that sign on to Hosted America, and we will be getting those monthly.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people. They were just finishing up the free trial, and so even without more people signing up,
Yeah.
more and more people will start paying.
Right, and a lot of people have signed up that haven't been brought onto the service yet. So there was a time gap from when you sign up to when you get your service started. So it will be a bigger check this month. Yeah, we're hoping for double that. But ultimately, if the whole community were to avail themselves of Host America Internet, Larry, is it? Yeah, so we're hoping for that. Okay, so letters to the board for consideration. There's some letters to the board that I have. One of them Kathy has already alluded to, which is the I didn't have it there, hold on. It's a petition to the board to change or add rules to the dog park. There's a very explanatory letter that talks a little bit about, well, first I'll tell you, 10 people signed this petition. It's very nicely written. And it gives a lot of explanation as to the issues that are happening. There's a couple of dogs that are rougher than other dogs. They're larger than other dogs. And some people have small dogs. They want to be able to separate their dogs so they don't, you have to be with the other dog, which also has a lot of saliva and has a ball and becomes a little bit messy. So we will talk about these rules with the board in a work session because there needs to be some back and forth dialogue. We also have to take into consideration the rules that are already there and then see what we need to combine, see what we need to exclude, take out. And I'll just go briefly through the suggested dog park rules. I might change one word that's in there. Okay. What's that?
That's a grievance as well.
Okay.
Petition and grievance.
Okay, so suggested dog park rules by this petition. All dogs should be on a leash when entering and leaving the dog park. All owners are to have a leash with them. And I understand so that if there is some kind of a kerfuffle that's happening, you can put your dog on your leash and you can safely take your dog away. No dogs are to be left unattended in the dog park. Owners have the right to separate dogs on one side or according to size or temperament. We have two sides of the dog park that are separate. All owners are required to clean up after their dog immediately. I know that's on the list of the rules that are already there, but we know that's not happening because people, like they should, they're having a good time at the dog park and they turn and they talk to their friend and their dog is doing something over there and they don't see it. So we have to all work together to make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on behind them. All dogs should be vaccinated for their own safety. I believe that's already a rule. Owners are responsible for all damages to the dog park. I will tell you that we've never held anybody responsible other than a fence that was ran into by a car. Other than that, and that was only $100 that we asked that resident to pay because it was very, limited damage. But other than that, we've never asked people to pay for damage to the dog park. We just kind of deal with it and we move on. Owners should either prevent their dog from, what's another word for this word? I don't know. Trying to, what's the word? No, the word is hump. I don't want to say it. Yeah, I don't want to say that word. I don't want to say that word in a meeting, but okay. So owners should kind of prevent their dog from acting unsocially correct. How about that? Owners should communicate in a civil tone at all times. If your dog gets into a fight, exchange information and leave the dog park. I really like that rule. I think that that's similar to when you hit something, even if the owner is not there, you hit a door, you leave a note on that car that I hit your car. And I think that's the very gentlemanly, good way to do that. No dogs in heat allowed in the dog park. I think that's on the list also out there. No aggressive dogs. Now, that's subjective because we all know that we think our dog is perfect and they're not aggressive with us. But if you see that your dog is causing another dog to not act so nicely, you need to think about that it could be your dog causing that. Food treats are discouraged unless being used for training purposes. I had not heard of that one, Kathy, so whoever thought of that, I think there's probably a reason behind that, but I don't know what it is. I guess other dogs are coming towards for the treats, maybe? I don't know. But those are the things that we need to discuss, and I know that we can't really do all of that here in this open meeting, so in a work session, I hope that we can get to the bottom of those rules and make some changes for the dog park for the better. Okay, the next thing for you guys, I have a home that is in need of care. The issue has gone to the adjudicatory panel, and the adjudicatory panel has ruled. But according to our DORs, I need a board vote with the majority to use our maintenance crew and then bill the house back, the work to the owner. I'm asking for that because I don't think that even though the AP has ruled on this, I don't think this work. So I'm asking for the board for our crew to be able to take care of this yard, and then we'll go back and bill it to the resident.
Shouldn't it be executive session?
It could be executive session. If you want me to do that in executive session, I will.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could also bring some kind of estimates on time and labor and material. Just a rough one.
Not to exceed 500.
Not to exceed $500. I move that.
If you guys want to talk about it in executive session, I can do that. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Dave Phipps is an applicant for the adjudicatory panel. This is a two-part consideration for the board. What's happening is we have 3 members of the AP and 1 alternate. So that's 4 people total that come to these hearings and are the judge and jury for the community's folks that have a violation that don't clear up their violation. And what happens in the summertime is we have vacations and we're having trouble getting everybody on the same date, same time. So the AP has requested of the board, number 1, can we change the charter to have 2 alternates, which is a total of 5 people, so that if there's ever an issue with 2 or 3 of the members, we still have an alternate. We have 3 votes. We have to have the 3 votes. Is that permissible by the board? Can we change it to add 1 more alternate?
Yes, for a motion.
Yes.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Yes.
Made the motion.
Mike made the motion.
I'm sorry, was there a motion?
Who's second?
Bob was.
Okay.
Yes, discussion. Per resolution, let me draw a number here, 0803, I think. If you want to change the charter, you have to resubmit the paperwork and we have to vote on it.
Okay. Okay, I can do that.
And that would be resolution 2008-06.
Can you read it?
Sorry?
Can you read what it says?
I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Jennifer, am I to understand that what you're asking is to have the exact same charter and the only thing that changes would be change from one alternate to have two alternates?
That is correct.
So reprinting it is not,
No fewer than
from
three, no more.
from the previously approved thing would not add much to it.
Correct.
And establishing.
I guess what I'm saying is we should probably review the charter for the AP to see what its document says. And if they want to change that, submit an amendment to it for approval.
Okay. Will do.
Withdraw my second. Yeah, I'll take it down. Withdraw the motion.
Then I'll hold off on sharing the AP suggestion for a new AP member. We'll do that next time. Okay, I have a resident that is excited about the craft fair coming up. She is part of the planning and part of the advertising. And they usually have a small budget for advertising. I think they put something in the paper and they do a lot of social media, and they used to have the availability on the LED sign at the storage area. You guys know the storage area that's right down the road. They used to be able to use their LED sign and put the craft fair on it. I've been asked to ask you if the sign on 55, can we put a banner on the sign on 55 underneath the LED sign? Because the LED part is supposed to be for the Pointe or for the golf course, advertising specials and tournaments and those kinds of things. Can a banner be put for the craft fair, which would be, the craft fair takes place on November 1st. So it would be previous to that, probably the last week or maybe 10 days before the event. Is there any opposition to that?
Are we going to make this like a standard practice, or would this become a standard practice to do that?
This would be a precedent that you might be starting, that other groups would perhaps want to use the
I think we
sign.
want to discuss that further.
Okay.
Is that when the golf tournament is, November 1st?
It is, but we'll have the golf tournament on the LED sign, and the craft banner would be between.
We have the sign in front of the fire station here that we use, stuff like that.
We do.
So
I think they're looking for a larger draw.
They want outside the community on 55 is pretty great because lots of people are coming by.
Yeah.
So we have a request to put a banner on our property at 55 in Broad Creek.
Correct.
Do we have protocols in place for advertisements on any of our POA-owned properties?
We do. If something is out of the norm, it needs to have board approval. That's what I'm here for, asking you that.
How is norm defined?
No signs can be put on POA property without the board's approval.
Thank you.
Do we want to discuss it now?
I think this is committee work, bro. We need to investigate it, report it, what door are we opening, who are we gonna say no to, what we say yes. I understand, I think the actual solution to this would be changing the rules on the sign, on the sign on the sign, the scrolling sign on the sign. Why not make that available to more than just the restaurant and the golf course on limited basis? I don't know how that works. I don't know how much work is involved with it, but that kind of a report.
I have no idea how that sign works.
Yeah.
Whether they have to drive up there each time.
You have to drive up there each time. It's a separate computer, and Amanda is in charge of that. She does that about once a week.
Yeah, so it'd be a once a week type thing up there.
We might have to train some, again, we're talking about that committee.
Let's defer that for later.
Okay.
Discussion.
Can I add just one thing to that? If we're considering using our banner for advertising, or our property for advertising, why don't we use our banner for advertising and charge a fee to make the sign actually work for us?
Why don't you guys?
Discussion.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there as conversation. I'm planting seeds here.
Whatever you guys want to do, I think they would not be opposed to paying a small fee. So whatever you guys want to do.
Where are the rules regarding that sign?
There are no rules. In practice, it was for the Pointe and for
There's
the
no
golf.
written
That's
rules.
correct. No written rules for the LED sign at 55. That's correct.
Okay.
Are there written rules for the one at the fire station?
Yes.
There are written rules for that.
The rules entail that the event has to be open to all of the community. That's pretty much so you'll see we have Democratic announcements, we have Republican announcements, we have the hospital auxiliary baking sale, those kinds of things. You got it, okay. I'll just giving examples for you. All right. Next question for you. This is one that just came in yesterday. This has to do with a farmer's market. July 21st, 2025, to the Board of Directors at Fairfield Harbor. My name is Tamara Carroll, and I think I said that right, it might be Tamara, sorry. And we have been owners here for almost 3 years. I'm writing to ask you if you would kindly consider allowing a farmer's market on the grounds once a week from spring through fall seasons. I was thinking that the lot over by the fire station or by the Truist ATM might work. I've spoken to a few friends who have local farms and they're very interested in participating. I know we have a farmer's market in town, but I do believe that by bringing one out here would be well received and give the residents another chance to gather and visit as well. I would like it to be food products though, no crafters. That is one of the complaints about the farmer's market in town, that there are more crafters than food items, plus we have the craft show already. The farmers I've spoken to have suggested Wednesday or Thursday. I suggested able to attend as well. I would like to see it take place at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. if possible. The farmers would bring their own easy ups and displays. So far, I've spoken to these 2 farmers and they are very excited to participate. Pickle Bean Organic Farm in Vanceboro. They are New Bern residents. Facebook page, she gives that. The owners are Jennifer and Chris King, and the other is the farm at Grape Creek in New Bern. Pasture-raised organic meats, eggs, and spices. They have a Facebook page and email as well. Owners are the Martin and Ainsley Guan, I don't know how to say his name, sorry. Both of these farms are veteran-owned and operated and are currently in the New Bern and Havelock farmers markets. They are insured and licensed and both already delivering out in the community to residents. My vision is to grow the farmers market to include local honey, spices, herbs, eggs, microgreens, and possibly other seasonal vegetables and fruits. I am really good at networking and recruiting. It's my understanding that the food trucks do not pay a fee here to be here, and the various craft yard sales, residents pay a nominal fee of $5 per spot. It's my hope that the vendors could also have the same consideration, or at least a small fee to keep them coming back. I do not believe this would cost the POA anything. We could have them sign a release of liability for insurance purposes if needed. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I have put other vendor events in the past, so it should be pretty simple to get going, and I would volunteer to make this happen. My contact info is there. What are your thoughts?
I like that a lot.
I like the idea. We have food trucks scheduled for Monday and Tuesday.
When the Pointe is closed, we have food trucks. We are hoping that we will open the Pointe up on Monday at some point.
Okay, so they're asking for Wednesday and Thursday, 4 to 7.
Correct. Wednesday or Thursday, not both.
Okay, Wednesday or Thursday. If we have a preference on day.
Choose our own.
Well, are you considering this a competition to the restaurant? Because this is fresh products, that's plates. Those are apples and oranges.
Say that one more time.
I heard a comment about it's Wednesday or Thursday, 4 to 7, but that's when the restaurant's open. This is a farmer's market. The restaurant is a restaurant.
No.
Farmer's market is farm to table stuff, and the restaurant is plated.
No, Chris,
These are opposite
sorry,
things.
you conflated those two. Don asked me, when do we have food trucks? And I told him we have food trucks when the restaurant is closed, which is Monday and
Yeah.
Tuesday right now. I had nothing to
Thank
do
you.
with that at all.
I don't see a problem with it. I think we should have a small fee for using the,
What would the fee be?
What's the fee for a craft?
The craft people, well, we don't, the POA does not get involved in that. I think the crafters pay $10 to be in the craft fair. And then what we do put on, the POA puts on the community yard
Who do
sale
they pay the $10 to?
to the person that is advertising and heading up the craft fair organization. Her name is Ramona Kuntz. But we don't have any involvement in that. All we do is let them have the space. She's booked the space. What we do is we charge the community parking lot sale, $5 per slot at the community parking lot at this center right here.
I think $5 a slot would be a good,
$5 per farm slot?
per farm slot, yeah, that would have some. Okay.
Well, that's your, crafters pay 10 to get into the craft show, but that $10 goes to getting the advertising. And they used to use the LED sign at the storage place. So $10 has been the price per parking space.
$10?
$10.
$10 per slot work, and we can put it on the sign out here too?
So just a question. If the person wants to use 2 parking places, it'd be $20.
Right.
Okay. So you're talking about 10 for each parking. That's fine.
And I don't think we could have it in this parking lot on those days, because those evenings are, I think it would have to be up by the ATM,
ATM, okay.
in that spot up there, because this building here is in use at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to have it up by the ATM.
I think you need to make sure you have some guidelines for have it cleaned up after they leave. So if they didn't, and we have to do it, then they're not gonna be allowed to come back.
Yeah, so they would probably have to fill out that for everything else, and on the back in the fine print is that if you don't clean up, you will be charged a cleanup fee.
I'm good with that.
Do we have any actual spots marked out up by the ATM, or?
We do, the food trucks have a spot that's marked out, and the parking is beyond where the food truck is supposed to park. So there's parking that's not on the grass. The grass has now been protected by a split rail fence because people were parking on the grass and Will was trying to grow nice grass. So that's why that fence is there now. But yes, there's parking. It may not be deep, it may not be, it's not painted, it's in pine straw.
How many slots would we have to limit it to up there?
That's a great question. What if it got bigger, we'd have to move it. So we can just cross that bridge when we get to it. Sounds like it's just 2 right now.
2 right now?
Mhm.
Okay.
Good place to start.
Good, yeah.
But I think the traffic is gonna be, it's a big issue, getting in and getting out and not blocking. But we'll know when we know.
Okay, so we have food trucks at the ATM machine on Mondays, and they are not charged.
That's correct.
Okay, that's zero money there. We have crafters that come in here for $10.
Not paid to the POA. That's totally separate and private event.
Okay, that's private. And we want to offer a farmer's market to 2 vendors at $10 a spot. No, I don't think you should charge them. If you're not charging the food truck, you shouldn't charge the vendors for the food, for the farmer's market. If you're going to charge, you should charge for everybody. But if you already set the precedence for one, you shouldn't recant and essentially punish a new vendor when a rule has already been established.
There's no rule. The food trucks were coming in when we had a hurricane and there was no ability to cook food in your house. And Gloria was actually instrumental in getting the start of food trucks here. Before that, we never had them. So we never charged them because we were grateful that residents could have that convenience.
Correct. And the hurricane was when?
6 years ago.
So for the past 6 years, we've had a standing non-rule that we're not charging them for using our parking lot, but now we want to charge
This isn't me that won,
farmers.
this is
No,
from this young lady.
I'm posing my argument that we shouldn't be considering charging somebody new when we've had a standing rule for 6 years of not charging somebody on Mondays.
This is all up to you guys. I'll do whatever you like. What's your vote?
$5 or $10 a week for who knows how many. I think it's a good idea. I think we should encourage it. I don't think there should be a charge for it, to encourage it, because now we can be kind of assured of fresh vegetables and fruits, whatever, as long as it's just food, no crafts. And we aren't getting things from the crafts fair.
Okay.
So I think, I agree with Chris. Just see if we can't encourage that.
No crafts, food only. What if somebody wants to sell baked goods from their kitchen? Are we doing that? Yeah, if they don't have the farm and they're not a legitimate business, are we allowing Mike to make brownies at home and sell them for?
Not mine.
No.
I make a really good brownie.
Yeah, I mean, that, we do have, I mean,
What's that?
no baked goods, no home foods, no home foods, okay.
It would just be vegetables. Farm.
Okay, so from farms only,
Farms only.
or honey from a purveyor of honey, okay.
Are these farms, is this Bobby's Backyard Farm?
No.
Or is this a legitimate?
They're
company
legitimate
business?
farms. They are, it's the Pickle Bean Farm and the farm on Grape Creek. They're both able to be researched online.
You see one of those meats too?
The farm on Grape. Yep.
Larry?
I don't really have any problem with not charging. However, I do think it shouldn't be costing us anything, so we should still have the cleanup fee that can be attached
Correct.
to someone if they don't clean up properly and we have to do it.
Okay, so I hear you. We're gonna have them fill out the reservation request and they'll be, even though they're not residents, they will be billed if we have to clean up. Okay. You guys need to make a motion.
So
I,
be more specific.
you need to
What she said.
make the motion.
Make a motion to allow these two farms to be the beginning of non-home baked farm to market.
Okay.
Location of,
Wednesday.
just Wednesday night at the ATM.
Write that down.
Got it. I've got it.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
Because you were rolling with it, and I'm like, write it down so I get that.
Okay.
And he second.
Thank you, Laura. I'll second.
Just because I stared at you, doesn't mean yes.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion?
I was distracted with the totality of the motion.
So was I.
Both farms, no charge, ATM parking lot?
Right.
Wednesday night,
Wednesday night.
4 to
Good with
7.
All right, all in favor?
Great, thank you. Last night, I sent you, and I'm sorry that it was so late, and let me know who has read the request about the seawall changes from the subcommittee of the Property Control Committee, the Waterfront Subcommittee. Anybody read those last
I
night?
read them.
I read them. I was even this morning, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have,
If it's okay with
Not
you,
detailed.
board, if we could have this reviewed at a work session so that these changes can be made.
yes.
We apparently, and I didn't know this until it was brought to my attention, but we are behind in the industry standards that are acceptable today for seawall repair. And so these changes have been brought to me by the committee, and they would like them to be approved so that we can change what we have online and change what our current guidelines look like.
Okay, was that the work session?
Okay. Next, the 9/11 ceremony is normally pulled together totally almost with some folks helping, but Sandy Schulteis has been the lead on that for many, many years. and she's unavailable to help this year. When this has happened once before, I know that a board member took up the planning of that, and I'm wondering if a board member wants to take up the planning of the 9/11 ceremony for this year, because otherwise it's a great amount of work that needs somebody at the helm of it.
You volunteer to take that 9/11 ceremony?
Gloria and I actually had a word about this, and she said, it's okay if we don't have it this year and have it next year. We can let the community know that. And this is another thing you might want to, you could have something small, you could have something very, very simple. We usually do such a beautiful, very ornate job of getting the Marine Corps there. We do a lot of very special things. If anybody's been, they know how great it is. Do you want to talk about that later?
Yeah.
Debbie?
I am married to a 31-year first responder and a Vietnam vet. We lived up north, many of my husband's crew went into New York City to help with the search and rescue. I would be honored to be able to step up and put a committee together to do this.
I have no problem with that. All in favor of that?
No.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
If you need a second, Globe,
Yeah.
if you need a second, put it down.
Yeah.
You need a motion and a second to record it.
I need the full motion.
Okay.
We're just starting to roll.
Yeah, just start to roll. Right. Full motion to have Debbie Harris take over the 9/11 ceremony committee to organize that. That motion.
I'd like to have that by roll call.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call. Mike?
Aye.
Okay.
Usually the secretary reads the roll.
Okay.
I'm going for my thing. We start with Anderson.
Aye.
Okay. Barajas.
No.
Basden. Rudy.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Fossett.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you.
6-1.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. The next thing I have is a little bit disjointed. I have a former board member named Gus Villanova, who's a golfer, approached Kathleen with several articles that he would like the board to see and look at, and they were not in emailable form. And so it's looking at regarding how golf course communities bolster home values. He would like to see the board put something out on the topic. His articles were sourced by Rhonda Lacey, DTE Golf. I have them with me if you'd like to review them. He would like the board to put out some kind of either an article or a study or involvement that would let the community know how important a healthy golf course is to home values and to the community.
And let it work session.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
Bob saying we could handle that at a work session?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
My suggestion would be also put in a Friday roundup and look for someone to put this together.
Yeah, he's looking for someone to put it together. He just handed her the articles and wanted the board to do it, is what I
We have
understand.
some golf professional people in the community. I assume one of those would step up and take it.
Okay. All right. Here's the update part of my report. The palm tree sales, we had another successful palm tree year, and installation has been completed by the maintenance crew. A total of 80 palm trees had been ordered in 2 truckloads from Florida. We had 17 able to be put into POA properties, which were free to the POA because of the purchase by the residents at a $375 price tag. My understanding is the going price for a palm tree is over $500, and then we installed it also, so that was without a, so anyway, residents got a great palm tree. They were a little skinny this year. Will is thinking about using a different source next year because they seemed a little bit tinier. This request next is coming from Stanley Kite, who is the Emergency Services Director for Craven County. We have a CERT trailer that is right here in the back of the fire station. You guys don't see it when you're driving by. And Stanley Kite has been asked by a retired CERT team member to take the trailer, and he would first like to find out if there is no more interest in our community to enact CERT. CERT stands for Community Emergency Response Team. He doesn't want to take our trailer without being sure that the community doesn't need the trailer. So that whole group has kind of fallen away a little bit. And he's willing to speak at an engagement to get more people involved, which was my suggestion, because I think that he could probably elicit a lot of response from the community if he was to talk. If anyone came to we had him here for a hurricane talk a few weeks ago. He's a very, very good speaker. I think he'd be able to drum up some CERT team members.
Would we want to have it like on a Saturday or something?
We could have it on a Saturday.
Yeah, I say we move to have it. Sorry?
I'd like to have him come and work with the safety committee and let us help organize something.
Okay, we can do that.
Have him contact Larry, see about setting up.
And we'll see how much interest we can generate by
Yeah.
before we decide to do away with it.
Right.
Great. I think that, I'm not sure if Amanda told you guys, but last week they had a record week. Did she say that they had a record week last week, that more than $12,000 for the week was made without an event? Did she mention that? I'm going to mention it again if she didn't. So that's without a tournament, without Father's Day or Mother's Day, which are the biggest days for us. Those new entrees are doing very, very well. Bob wanted to talk about the steak. Hold on.
Wonderful.
Okay. Glad that she was here to share those highlights with you. The dog waste stations are going very well. The vendor is out on Wednesdays and Sundays usually to take care of those waste stations. Many people are thrilled that they've been installed. They've heard really good things. Yeah. The only thing that's happened one time is at the dog park. The receptacle was overfilled, and it had to get taken care of that day. Adjudicatory panel, AP for short, 7 hearings were held so far in July. 2 were for trespassing on the Harbor Club parking area. 1 was for dog waste not being taken care of by the owner properly. 1 was for unauthorized signage. 1 was for a trailer on a lot without a permit, and 1 was for a lot not being maintained.
Slow down.
I'm sorry.
I've only got 6.
Lot not being maintained,
Got that one?
trailer on a lot,
Yeah.
Sign violation?
sign violation,
Dog waste?
dog waste, and 2 trespassing on Harbor Club parking. Oh, then I have bad, that was me. I can go back and look if you really want to know. The marinas. So Kathleen has done a really super job in managing the marinas. We are now close to earning $10,000 a month. And we are working on going down the wait list. We continue to go down the wait list, and what happens, if you're wondering why there's an opening, is that we call on Nate, and Nate just had a knee surgery and he's not ready to move his boat in yet. So we skip him and go to the next person. Next person has a vacation. And so you just have to keep going down and down and down until you find the right person with the right size boat that wants the slip now. So it's just taking a little bit longer.
So just 3 slips or what?
3 slips are not accounted for. Yeah.
48. 3 out of 48.
Are we taking questions? Am I allowed to take a question?
I'm here.
No,
No, we
we're
got
not
Debbie
allowed to
in
take
there.
questions, you guys, because we're in the middle of so come to me after the meeting if you want to know your answer, please.
Uniformity here.
So let's see, if we can get all of those slips filled, we have an annual potential to realize $137,000. And if there are bigger boats, we erred on the side of smaller boats, but if they're bigger, they pay more per foot, so we would have more than that. So So we're working on to having that happen.
Do we know what our electrical costs are for this?
Not yet. We're looking at the electrical costs. We're going to compare them year over year because we did add 4 50 amp pedestals to the mix, and we'll be looking at that as soon as we can. Because I'm nervous about that. I'm thinking that we're going to have to meter the boat. We need to meter each pedestal, but that's a huge expense to meter everything and then to have to build that out separately. So I don't want to do that. But if the electrical costs have gone up significantly.
Yeah, they go up significantly.
Yep. I'm a little worried about that, so we'll see. Next. Harbor Point Golf. I think that Amanda did a great job of talking about the tunnels to towers. I'm not going to say it again. I did want to mention that Brian Cooper, the new golf pro, has doubled the amount of lessons that he's been here less than a month. We kind of had to grow on him. He didn't want to work, and he is now a 1099 employee. He's not a true employee. He's going to be just billing us for his services, and we'll make him a check. The reserve study, if you guys remember, I think the reserve study gentleman named Wayne Anderson from Reserve Advisors came out in May. And so he was supposed to have, it might have been April actually, he was supposed to have the reserve study done by June. He is finding out that we are a much larger situation he's not able to get to his results yet. He has lots of questions. I've been answering them as best I can. We're working together so that he can get everything he needs to get everything to us in his time.
Estimated date?
He does not have an estimated date. I have to supply him with all of the projects that have been done within the last 10 years. It's taking me a while to do that.
Okay.
He wants backup paperwork, he wants receipts, he wants a lot, and it's a lot to take, I don't have that readily just right in my files.
Okay.
There is an electrical panel that is being replaced at the Harbour Hair Salon. So the date for that is August 4th. If you by chance have a hair appointment on August 4th, you need to know that the salon will be closed that day because there's no electricity that day. So after that, it's just going to be one day, and then that electrical panel will be brand new. With safety and access control, I know Larry's going to probably talk about this, but we have started the limited and preferred contractor programs, and we're still enrolling residents on their apps and their mobile phones and installing credentials for their cars. We have been putting that information in the update every week. Hopefully a lot of people are aware, but if everybody that's listening or here could just, if you have an issue with your credential, if you could try to come on the time that the Safety and Security Committee is going to be there. I'm sorry, Safety and Access Control, that would be great. That date's already passed this week, but next week it'll be Tuesday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. No?
3:30 to 4:30.
3:30 to 4:30.
We're gonna try 3. We're gonna try dropping it to an hour.
Dropping it to an hour so that we can kind of get all those people funneled into that 1 hour of time.
That is standard.
Yes.
We'll probably move to that every week until further notice.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Tuesday, 3:30 to
Mr.
4:30.
Chairman.
We were doing it from 2 to 4:30, but the time from 2 to 3 was very, very sparse. So I'm gonna switch it to an hour and see if we can get it all done. If it gets too busy, we'll expand
Get an
it.
offer maybe another evening.
If we find enough need, and I'm relying on the front desk to tell me that,
Okay.
if there's enough need for people that have jobs, I will add a Monday from 5:30 to 6:30 to catch those people.
So if you didn't hear that, maybe, but we're trying to make the time smaller.
This will be a 5-minute break and it's going.
Yeah.
That's where I do it.
I'm not done, but I'll be done in 5 minutes. Can you wait 5 minutes?
You already got one member going.
Okay. I have
Take a 5-minute break.
we're taking a 5-minute break.
Thank you.
Everybody?
Hey, Steve.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? No. No, it was.
Is Newburgh Farmers.
Pickle bean Thank you.
Everybody take their seats, please. Jennifer? Okay.
For wildlife, I have applied for the community CD map hunting license for deer depredation. We don't yet know what the time frame will be for the season. It depends on what the biologist decides. So we're open on September 1st, but I don't know when the season will end. There is a Troon conference in November that's in Arizona that I believe I will be attending. I will be attending that 18th through 20th, I believe. Let's see. That's all I have for open session. The rest that I have is for executive session.
Okay. All right, at this point, we'd like to move on to unfinished business. I have a motion that I would like to make. It's for the wrong motion. It's to install additional lighting at the firehouse. We've been trying to get this done for quite a while. We have a new quote comes in at $5,390. And I would like to move that, in case anybody doesn't know what's going on, in about 2019, we replaced the fluorescent lighting in there with LED lighting, and it has never really been up to the firehouse standards, the national standards. We had an evaluation of it back in May 14th. That the current lighting falls significantly below the National Firehouse Protection Association recommended standards. The looms in there are 160 looms. The national standard requires 300 looms, so we're almost half of what we should have in there. So I would like to move that the Fairfield Harbor Board of Directors approve installation of additional lighting at the firehouse to adequately illuminate the facility for the fire department's needs with a cost not to exceed $5,500. Mike has a second.
Discussion. Didn't we talk about that?
We did talk about that. We never got,
About splitting the cost?
we never got reply back.
They hadn't reached a decision yet.
Right, and I'd like to go ahead and move on it because this has been going on for 6 years, and we took it out, and I'd like to see this be done with. And
My only issue is where's it coming from, the money?
I've talked to Lee about that, and he says he could.
We'll find it.
Yeah, he said he could find it.
I'll second the motion.
It's been seconded, so, yeah.
Before we talk, I did ask the question before, but is Commissioner Marks okay with that?
We're gonna ask him today.
Yeah.
We'll see
Okay,
him at
I mean,
3 o'clock.
just would like to make sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to alienate someone like.
He won't be thrilled, but I think we can soften it somehow.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I agree.
Opposed?
I just want it noted that that's a violation of the motion that Lee just made to not exceed 5,000 in discretionary spending.
I'd like it noted that I voted for the motion because it's a 2019 vintage problem, and in my opinion, it's a safety issue. It should move ahead.
Okay, moving on. Harbor Club Post-Construction Planning Committee. Like to see us discuss that.
Talk about the ad hoc committee first.
I'm sorry.
The ad hoc litigation subcommittee.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me go in order.
I missed one. My fault. All right, I'd like to bring up the next one, which is the Board of Directors Ad Hoc Litigation Committee. And this is a committee that will deal with the attorneys and the insurance company in regards to the current ongoing lawsuit. That will be, I move that it be myself, Larry Basden, and Wayne Anderson. Second, is there any discussion? All in favor?
I agree.
We had 3 items added to the agenda. Should we take those in now? I'd like to do those first. Let's do Larry. You had a.
Yes, with the safety committee, we had a new applicant and it's been approved by the safety committee, and I'd like the board of. Is Glenn Davis. He lives 2134 Royal Pines Drive. And I can say this, that he's already shown his willingness to help and work. And I recommend approval.
Okay, I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor?
I agree.
Okay. Second one, I'd like to make a motion for the Stormwater Committee. Rodney Nettleton. He's been working with the Stormwater Committee, sitting in on everything for the last several months. We just haven't had a meeting where we could get him approved. And I'd like to nominate him as a member, make a motion to nominate him as a member of the Stormwater Committee.
I'll second that.
Mike seconds that.
Discussion. What's his last name?
Nettleton,
Nettle.
Netleton.
Thank you.
And the committee approved it.
Yes, been approved by the Stormwater Committee. All right,
Call the question.
all in favor?
I agree.
Okay, unanimous. All right. Last one I have, and I'll just pass this out here. These are the lots, and it's a lot that we have for sale.
This
This is just a map of the pricing of lots around the area. We have an offer on a lot at 2105 Cara. We will need to have, there's collateral agreement that I've asked the attorney to reach out to Truist so that we can sell these lots. And what did I do with my paperwork?
Point of order.
Pardon me?
Yes,
This map is not showing a lot you're asking to put up for sale. This is just.
these are sold lots. This is a reference of pricing of lots that are sold around the area. And we have a price of 30,000 offered on that. That is a reasonable price on that lot. So I'd like to make a motion that the Fairfield Harbor POA received an offer of $30,000 for a vacant lot located at 2105 Cara. The property has been actively listed for over 120 days. Per the Truist collateral agreement, all Fairfield Harbor Property Owners Association owned lots are encumbered. As a routine operation, Fairfield Harbor regularly forecloses on delinquent lots, properties, and resells them.
Therefore, I move that the Fairfield Harbor Board seek a waiver from Truist to allow for the sale and foreclosure of lots required under the collateral agreement. Upon receiving the written approval, a waiver from Truist, that the board accept the current offer to sell the vacant lot located at 2105 Caracara for $30,000.
Yeah, I understand you say that the lot has been for sale for over 120 days already.
Correct.
And what were we asking for it?
35.
35.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
Discussion.
discussion?
We have POA owned property that's actually numerated lots. And because of our Truist contract, we have to get permission from the bank to sell POA owned numerated lots. Is that what
Yes.
this is reading?
Yes.
Well, then I asked to table this until we get the letter from Truist saying that we have the authority to move forward with accepting this offer.
That's what the agreement says. It says,
May I see it?
yeah. That's it.
Seek a waiver. So you're asking to seek the waiver, not accept the offer?
And we accept the offer after we receive the waiver. And that will be part of the sales agreement.
Say that Hope does not think that Truist intended to stop us from selling foreclosed lots or lots that the POA owns.
Yeah.
It was more like assets and things that were appraised for the loan to have the collateral it needed. But we still have to provide collateral, that's our contract.
I appreciate your suggesting what Hope may have thought, but it's written in the contract as such. And if she would have thought otherwise, it would have been written in the contract to allow us to sell numerated lots that we own and to protect the non-enumerated or open space lots that we own.
As a point of reference, under the partner's loan, it was the same deal. That anything we did to the property, including taking down the clubhouse, which actually made the property more valuable, had to go through the partner's managers.
Understood.
So it's a standard practice.
Yeah.
Call the question.
Pardon?
Call the question.
Yeah. Are there any questions? Okay. I move for,
We have a motion and a second and a second. Call the question, so we move to a vote.
yeah, let's move to a vote. All in favor?
Yeah, I'll accept as it's written.
Okay. No opposed? All right. Let's move on. Harbor Club Planning Committee. I would like to see us create we're going to call it Harbor Club for now, committee that looks at the committee structures, has meetings with 2 or more members, or would have 5-member committee. Three of them would be for 2 years, 2 would be for 1 year time. The vacancies will be filled by the board of directors. Let me just pass these out. And this is so we can start a committee to deal with what we have. Right now, we don't have anything.
It's two-sided.
Once the current Harbor Club is done, we are at a point where there's no structure after that. there's nobody to take care of what's going on over there. And so I'd like to create a committee that would, and this is a motion to create a post-construction committee charter.
Standing committee?
Standing committee, yeah. And this is just my ideas on that. I'd like us to discuss it and.
For discussion purposes, I move.
Yeah.
Make the motion to approve this as written.
Yes. So for discussion purposes, everybody take a look at this and we'll see if we can get the a planning of that committee. I'd like to get it going as soon as possible.
Based on Steve Steinbeck's submission.
Yes.
Is there any major changes to?
The number of people. He was asking for a larger number. I think that a larger number would be less is better. I mean, better communication between fewer people. So anyhow, take a look at this. At our next work session, I'd like to discuss this and move forward on it quickly from there. So, all right. Oh yeah, sorry. I had it down enough. All right. Next thing I have dropped I have pulled from the property committee from the agenda. Larry, would you like to discuss the gate?
Okay. All right, I was called a couple of times over the past week and, not past week, but the past few weeks related to the construction gate being left open. And what we found is that there was a contractor that was working in a while and they had opened it and left it. And we had, through a prior board, had determined that it was not to be left open and unmanned. It was just creating too much issue in a community. I had the security had the guards go over and close it and lock it. It happened on about 2 other occasions and I was basically tired of having somebody have to go over there and follow up on it every time. They just weren't following it. We had already contacted the superintendent of WMCO and I think he had communicated it to them. So I authorized them to go ahead and put a different lock on it after consulting with some other board members. We did put another lock on it. It is now locked and no one has the combo or key to it except Will and the security guard. So it shouldn't be a problem in the future. However, it did indicate to me that we need to start planning for what we're going to do with that gate. The first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to get an approval to remove the signs on it so it doesn't say construction gate anymore. The second thing is I'd like the board to consider forming a group to look at and investigate, find out the cost of making that a permanent gate. It was advertised several times. It's been placed in the Friday update several times that the future of that gate was potentially to be a permanent gate. I'm not saying whether that is to be or not to be, but we should look at the cost involved in it. And then it's my recommendation that once we have facts and figures on the cost, and we would involve roads and streets in that fact finding, we would also involve safety committee, that once we did that, then we could then place it to a community vote of all the people that it impacts and determine if the people here want that to be a permanent gate. So that's what I'm asking the board for.
Larry, wasn't that part of the contract for the Harbour Club?
No.
It's not a requirement for the Harbor Club because there's another access to get in. It was only put there as a way to help reduce the wear and tear on the streets. But we had so many problems with it. And after they had finished with all the cement pours, we decided it was more prudent just to keep it locked.
Bob, you are right. It was sold as a condition of the contract for the Harbor Club, but it has since been debunked. That was just a sales pitch that we were told in June 28th, 2024 during that meeting.
Don, are we taking any questions for you?
It's not a question, I just wanted to follow up information for you guys. When our contractor comes in to do the potholes, right, he's gonna review that and give us a quote what it would take to make it a permanent gate.
Yeah,
Just so
that's
you
all
have
I'm.
Just so you have figures to work
Yeah,
with.
all I'm looking for is just to get some numbers together so that when we do ask the community if this is what they want, we have something to work from. We got facts.
That's why, just to give you numbers, you know, quote numbers to.
Mike? One of the things I think we want to consider when we do this is what the growth is going to be in the future and how many more cars we're going to have coming through a gate if we only have one. That's part of the planning that you go into this. I'm sure safety committee will be involved with that, but also if you ask Ray Redness from the stormwater committee on approval of how many lots we've already done in the last number of years, we have that many cars and how many more cars we're going to have. Secondary to that is safety. If there's a situation inside the harbor that we need to get out of here, this side has about 3 or 4 different ways they can get out that are not obstructed. The other end down by the timeshares has a road to get out of there. Shoreline side only has one exit. So in case of emergency where we need to get it out quick, say there's a fire raging coming down through the forested area and coming our way, we're gonna get out of here best we can somehow.
Swing.
And so that's part of what I'm asking as far as having a group to put this information.
So you're asking
together.
for a study?
Yeah, a committee or an ad hoc committee that will look into this and be able to present all that information back to the board. And then we can look at whether or not we want to submit it to the community as a request.
For clarification. Okay.
Yes.
Housekeeping matter.
Could you identify yourself, Steve?
Yeah, I'm Dick Goodwin, 2217 Cara. I believe that the temporary permit has expired. DOT no longer authorizes by permit use of the gate. Are considering making a permanent gate. I would suggest that you determine what is going to be required from and through DOT concerning expansion of the lane and pull-off area, et cetera, et cetera.
And certainly should be part of what the committee does, the ad hoc committee does.
Yeah. So you make a motion to.
Yes, I'm making a motion to form a committee to review that.
That's okay. Okay.
I asked to table this for further discussion in a work session.
And
of course.
I asked for what purpose?
Oh. I second that motion.
But discussion is why do we need to table it?
To table it.
Table is precedent of the motion on the floor.
Okay.
Discussion on the table?
Why? Why do we need to table it?
This is in direct conflict to another motion that I'm going to present, that I provided backup for in the director's packets. Specifically, to start off with, the lots that were taken, bought by the POA, enumerated lots, and then changed from enumerated to common, so that the construction entrance could be put in, is in direct violation of the declaration of restrictions. Number one, the declaration and restrictions say that enumerated lots can be only used for residential purposes.
Okay. Then I would say let's vote on the table. Motion to table.
Okay. Vote on the motion to table. All in favor? All opposed?
Abstain.
Well, it's insufficient, there's no majority.
There's no majority on that, so.
As I remember, motion is not approved as a failed motion.
Right. So that brings us back to the motion to
Form a
form a committee to do a study.
What we're talking about, Wayne, we're talking about combining both of these issues together for a study so that we can bring a presentation back to full.
Irrelevant to me.
Okay. I understand it.
Relevant.
Thank you.
I got.
They're slipping.
And
I speak Anderson.
And a vote would have to be a vote, I believe, of the DORs. I have to check with. I believe it would have to be a vote of the DORs in order to convert that to.
Be a vote of the membership.
Right, complete vote, and it would be a DOR vote, I believe, to convert those lots to something. But that is something that would be done by a study committee. So.
It could all be done. It's not, because we put a committee together to look at cost does not mean that it goes forward in any way. It's just a study.
Just a study.
And so when we do present it, we've got facts, which is what we need to be offering.
Make your statement again with the DORs.
The DORs, I believe the DORs would require a vote of the entire community.
Only the community, there's like 9 communities with it.
Right, I believe it's section 1 through 7. I believe section 1 through 7.
I don't think it should impact, it shouldn't be involving the people that aren't even on that side.
Right, it would, I believe it.
And what aspect of the DORs are you questioning?
That there's verbiage in there.
There is.
That says that, one, you can't have access to a road through an enumerated lot or.
Okay, now I know where you're going.
It's the lot designation description.
Right.
And he's talking about that you can't have access to an internal road.
I'm
through a
saying
lot.
that
Through a lot.
another part of it.
Without, so, but I think a study is a good idea,
And all that, all those questions can be identified.
Yeah.
We can communicate with legal counsel.
Identify
find out
everything.
What's what and what's not.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we could take out the signs and.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do immediately, and then that takes away the indication that it's an open gate for any purpose.
Okay. I'll second the motion to take down the sign immediately. Okay.
We're bifurcating motions now?
Okay, hang on.
A committee to study.
I apologize.
Okay. So I'll call for a vote.
The motion is to call for a committee, correct?
Yes.
The sign is a separate motion?
Correct.
Copy.
Okay. So vote. Let's vote. All in favor?
I'm a no.
I can't see past, Wayne, I can't see you.
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You want to make a motion to?
I didn't, what was the total on the committee vote?
5-2.
So Lee made the motion to take down the sign.
Okay.
I will second that.
All right. Any discussion on taking down the signs? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I want the sign down.
Wayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that 7?
Yes.
7. All right.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
And you were the second on that?
I'll second.
All right. Lee Fossett, Finance Committee.
Since I don't know the normal path for these things, I brought it to the board for action. You have a write-up in your packet, what I've got in mind. If you want to send this off to a work session, I'm fine with it, but I would like to present it. We've talked about a lot of financial analysis. I've talked about a lot of financial analysis. I don't have the horsepower to do it all by myself, and I don't really want to hire accountants to do it. But I gave you a draft of a charter. Finance Committee is charged with reviewing all financial statements and reports in regard to Fhpoa from any source to aid in transparency and clarity for the members. Finance Committee is charged with doing and presenting research as needed to support the annual budget and 5-year capital spending plan. This would dovetail into what you were talking about just a minute ago, because that's got to go into an annual capital spending plan. Finance Committee is charged with reviewing and understanding the reserve study and blending the recommendations from the reserve study together with input from the committees and the community as a whole, providing a recommended 5-year spending plan to the board. Finance Committee is charged with supporting the treasurer in preparation of the budget and spending plans, periodic reports to the members, especially in making our finance system more transparent to the members. Finance Committee is charged with reviewing and approving all existing and all new contracts which exceed $100,000 in value, very arbitrary number, for compliance with the budget and the capital spending plan, and to assure that all spending plans properly maintain current service to our debt and other long-term obligations while organizing and maintaining funding for other spending initiatives. Finance Committee is charged with providing financial and analytical support to the Property Committee to help guide acquisitions, reclassifications, and disposals of property. Finance Committee is charged with helping to review all processes and accounts that affect our finances, such as credit card and banking relationships. Special attention should be given to maintaining FDIC insured deposits where appropriate and maximizing the return for our deposited assets without incurring undue risk. I said at the time I have 4 nominees. I now have 6. We put out a call for volunteers. I would like approval of all 6 if the board chooses to move ahead with the charter for this. What kind of projects would we do? Well, I would like us to recast the annual budget. I don't think there's anybody who will stand up and say, I understand every bit of the annual budget. Analyze cost-benefit ratio for any items we plan to do, entry gates, etc. Analyze cost of the entry gate. Analyze our bank account structure. I mentioned this in my treasurer's report. Develop operating plan for the Harbour Club, the finance side of it. Review all contracts. Those are the kinds of things I see this group doing. Potential nominees, I've got Dave Farmeyer, previous corporate finance and financial consulting, specializes in forward planning. He's a retired graduate from Towson University, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through his whole bio. Jim Roberts is a business consultant. He's experienced with alternative business models and forward planning for businesses. Kevin Farrington is a retired businessman. Kevin Sharp, he's Andrew Seidel. Succinctly put, Andrew's an efficiency guy. He looks at continuous process improvement and continuous quality improvement. Recent additions, Paul Hill, Fhpoa Board 2008 to 2014, head of the Finance Committee all 6 years. Delighted to have him come aboard. And Maury Thompson, past Navy purchasing, past Fhpoa board member and president. If you'd like me to move ahead with this, I'd like a motion to approve.
No, I just had discussion.
Okay.
Okay,
To approve finance committee.
okay, just a second.
And the 6 recommendations.
Okay,
Thank you.
is there a second?
He seconded. Oh, you moved.
Move.
Have a discussion before. And now my second.
Who seconded?
We don't have a second right now.
I'll second it. Let's move on.
Go ahead, discussion.
So the question that I have for discussion is, do we have to have a charter that we approve before we approve the committee? Well, this is a draft charter.
Yep.
It's not a finished charter. I mean, it doesn't have all the details in it. We don't have numbers of committee members or other details that normally would be in a full charter. It's gonna be a standing committee. Don't we have to have a charter to approve before we can approve it as we approve?
Larry, I'll plead ignorance of the process.
And I'm not blaming you.
No, I'm
asking.
just saying, that's why we got to here is because I didn't know what the process was and didn't maybe proper.
I'm all
proper
about,
discovery.
we can move forward with it and get a permanent charter and then.
Can we approve this group and task one is to present us with a charter?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Friendly amendment?
Okay,
Friendly amendment,
I accept that.
I can accept that.
I'll second that. Friendly.
No, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine.
Okay, any other discussion?
The authority is the board has the
Or you get
authority to establish committees.
I have you as the last friendly piece is approve the group and task one with the charter.
Is there a format for a charter
Yes,
we have established?
yes.
There's a number of charters that you can just cut based off of.
There are examples, but no format, right? Okay.
One of the
No.
others, you look
All right.
Or we can just use some of the charters that are already there as templates and follow up with
that's
something
fine.
like.
Go from there.
Where are we with this? We're asking to form a committee of this advisory committee?
We're asking to form a committee, to do financial analysis in support of everything we do.
The finance committee.
And task one would be to take this draft and format it into a
Permanent charter.
permanent charter. And to approve these 6 members.
Okay. All right,
I have discussion.
go ahead.
I don't think you can form a committee just off of a decision. You have to have the proper paperwork. It was stated earlier, 2008-06 is the resolution adopting general committee guidelines. You can put a focus group together with these guys, build your charter, build your committee, submit it to the board for approval, then you have a committee. But I don't think you can jump ahead, form a committee, and then come back with a charter documents and say, here we are. You're putting the cart before the horse as far as protocols go.
So you're suggesting we build a
Focus group, or
focus group?
whatever you want to call it, some kind of,
So change the term to focus group.
Just keep the same people that he's already recommended and
Change it.
let them do the charter and then we'll make it official at the next board meeting, I guess.
Okay,
I accept that.
But we can make a motion to have them create the permanent charter.
okay, so it's a focus group now.
I accept that amendment.
All right. Any more discussion? I move that we vote, call for a vote.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was looking this way. That's over here.
I think everybody agreed over here. I think.
Everybody,
I agree.
All of you.
all agree.
No.
And I can't see you.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
All right. So with that, I think we've reached 12 o'clock.
And CWS has a hard stop at 2. They have a hard stop at 2.
Right, right. So right now, I'm going to move that we recess and reconvene in executive session at 1 o'clock and in the POA office.
Before we adjourn, there's a question that came up about work sessions, what those are, how often we'll do them, and what the purpose is for them. Can we get clarity on that?
I think that's on our list to discuss. Okay, calling a recess. It'll be, we'll get to it. It's going to be,
Why an executive session?
no,
No, it's not, that's not going to executive session. That'll be back in the
Just
next.
say adjourn.
We're going to an executive with individual we have to meet with.
And when will you get back?
This will go into the next meeting. Whatever is not done today goes into the next meeting under, that's how it works. It goes in under unfinished business.
That's exactly wrong. That stinks.
That's Robert's rule.
That stinks.
We have to move on. There's too much stuff.
The next group wants the chairs where they are.
It's just trying to.
No, he didn't.
No, I think